Hey, what's going on? It's Aaron Sands, and before we get into season three, I just want to give a quick RIP to Coolio. Just found out while prepping and recording that he passed away out in LA. Yeah, man. As I was doing this, as I was prepping and getting ready for the episode, I found out the news, and it was pretty crazy. And thinking about that, I'm thinking about like Keenan and Kel theme song, Gangsta's Paradise, Fantastic Voyage, and all this other stuff, all other things that he was doing in entertainment as well. So to hear the news, as breaking and shocking as it was, it was a pretty big shock. But just sending out prayers to his family, loved ones, and the fans. Most importantly, you already know the vibes. The fans who love his music and everything that goes with him. So there's that. And now, King Talk Season 3. It is Aaron Sands, and welcome to King Talk Season 3. Let's get smarter.
What's up, world? This is the Chief Mally Mal, long live the Chief, and you're tuned in to King Talk with Mr. Aaron Sands. Don't go nowhere, baby.
King Talk, yeah, that's me. You already know what it is. It's your man's Aaron Sands, and we are back with Season 3. You already know what it is. If it's Fridays, you already know. It's King Talk, baby. You already know what the vibes is. We are back again with Season 3 of King Talk, the long-awaited Season 3 of King Talk. I know it's been a long minute since we've done this, but, thank y'all for coming back. Thank y'all for listening. Let's get the proceedings out the way first and foremost. You already know I've been watching a good Pod's charge. I've been, chilling in the background for a minute, figuring out what I want to do, where I want to take this. And I came across something that really caught my eye, and I'm definitely grateful for it. I'm definitely thankful for it. It's a really humbling experience. And, I thank you guys, but where we at right now, we are number 4 in general news, entertainment news, I should say, and number 3 in indie entertainment news, which is a great accomplishment. Really, mainly because I wasn't even thinking about being on those charts, honestly. And to tell you the truth, I didn't. At first, I was kind of leery about where this was going to go, and I really had major doubts about that going into season 2. Well, actually going out of season 2, I should say. But, getting things into perspective, trying to come up with different ideas, and then actually, seeing the success of King Talk during the break, especially when, we haven't really put out anything, is a great accomplishment to what we're trying to do here. And honestly, it's just trying to help people be better than they was yesterday, and I'm not trying to be no self-help guru or nothing like that, but we see things in the entertainment world, we in our phones, we see these topics, things get crazy, and honestly, from what we see out there, we can learn a lot about it and kind of apply it to what we're doing out here, even though it's in different worlds. At the same time, there's lessons to be learned, and I would rather for people to learn those lessons outward from other people than having us to live it and, having to go through the shit and try to dig our way out of it. So, it's better to learn wise than hard. So I'm glad the message is getting out there in such a major way, especially in the standards of where we are. A lot of people said we wouldn't be able to do it. A few people said I was a gap-toothed bitch. But hey, number 1 is right around the corner, and I can't wait for us to celebrate it together. The minute we hit number 1, the day we hit number 1, I'm definitely dropping a number 1 episode, number 1 special, just for this situation, because it's going to be a special occasion. I can't wait. In the meantime, that's later on. We get into the topics right now. We get into King Talk news, and one of the big topics I want to get into right now is that Brett Favre and that Mississippi welfare scandal. So, granted, you won't probably hear this on ESPN. You know, they like talking about black, they like talking more about black men and black issues and everything like that. They drag in, you know, even though it's deserved, which we're going to get into later. You know, they like dragging black men through, you know, through the bullshit sometimes. You know, especially lately. But when it comes down to other counterparts, I should say, you know, they don't get the, you know, that type of treatment. But not here at King Talk. We here to talk about it. People talking about it. If ESPN ain't gonna want to talk about it, I'm gonna talk about it. So we're gonna talk about it. So basically, what's happening out there is he's kind of the face of this whole Mississippi welfare scandal. A lot of people don't realize about Mississippi too. It's a fun fact. Not really a fun fact, but it's still a fact. Out of the 50 states in 50 states in the country, Mississippi is actually the poorest state in like every capacity in the country. You know, you don't get much poorer than Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? And luckily, me being in, you know, New York area, tri-state area, you know, pretty fortunate to not have to go through that. But you know, you see people living in that state, and you think like, well, damn, their school system must be crazy. You know, they're not getting much money like that. You know, they're going through the you know, average income is like extra low in comparison to other states, other neighboring states. These people definitely need some help. And then you look up, according to the Washington Post, there's been a major welfare scandal. I'm like, how the hell? And the most poor, I could understand it be like in Cali or like here in New York and everything like that, because you know there's a lot of corruption there. But come on now, like we're like, I don't want to say you could be you too poor to be in corruption, but damn, that's crazy. And apparently, Brett Favre, former football player for, I believe, the Packers, the Vikings. I think he played for like the Jets a couple seasons and dipped out. Apparently, he's like the face of this scandal because he, according to the Washington Post, he received $1.1 million intended for welfare recipients in exchange for speeches, appearances. The state auditor says he never made. This is coming from the Washington Post. According to them, there's text messages included in court filings that show Favre was heavily involved in discussions that resulted in $5 million in welfare money going towards the construction of a volleyball facility at his alma mater, the University of Southern Mississippi, where his daughter played volleyball. So let me get this right? You have an amazing career, a Hall of Fame football career, right? Hall of Fame football career. People were like having you lined up right up there with Brady before I think he got like his 6th ring, and then Brady kind of just surpassed you in a sense of like all-time quarterbacks. But you still had like a real fire career, right? You retire, you having your own show, which by the way, Sirius XM is putting on hold pending investigation. You know, you have all of this going on for yourself. And then you get up and you get involved, you get yourself involved in these spaces, which is trash considering the fact that, you know, you've been pretty much low key. So it's like, at what point when people get to that certain point, that certain status, you know, at what point do we decide like, all right, this is enough? You know, especially if you're receiving it from a place where you shouldn't even be receiving it in the first place. You know, that's not your money to take. And you have, bro, you're a career. You should, if you saved your money right, you know what I'm saying? Because you gotta think about it. A lot of these like sports athletes, some save their money right, but most of them really don't. They kind of blow through it. Next thing you know, they go broke doing Old Navy commercials. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we look at it. We look at a guy like Brett Favre, at least from what I see, in my opinion, he seems like the type of dude to save his money. You know, he's trying to save his money from what it looks like. So The last place you would think you would go is not only the scam of welfare system, which is fucked up considering that, you know, a lot of people need you use that money to help pretty much fund their everyday lives. You know, they get food, they, you know, they do day-to-day activities. People use this money to do day-to-day activities. I know people who grew up when I was growing up on welfare, you know what I'm saying? And they didn't use they're not using the money to sit there and get weeds and Ugg boots, you know what I'm saying? Like, you really have to you got to feed your kids with this money. You got to take care of business, things like that. And you're still in it from them. And not only you're still in it from them, you're still in it from the poorest state in the country. Like, the levels, and here's the thing. I feel like the theme for this episode as I go on, it's going to be like levels of trash. You know what I'm saying? And in some cases, it has a lot to do with sports. Like 2/3 of it is going to be with sports, but we're going to get through it. But yeah, it's a one level of trash. And I'm like, bro, this comes with word greed. Like, when do we get to the point where, you know, we see that greed starts to consume us and we're like, hey, maybe I need to fall back. Maybe this is going to fuck with my ethics a little bit. Maybe it's going, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do you sleep? You feel me? How do you sleep taking from money that goes to babies? Because typically you feed the babies with that shit. You get baby milk, you get infant milk, fucking, you know, Similac is like high as shit right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. People gotta have some decency nowadays. And honestly, like, before this, like, I don't know if you're gonna say anything bad about Brett Favre, at least from my knowledge, except for the fact the way he left out of New York when he was with the Jets. But outside of that, like, before this, you really got nothing bad to say about the dude. You know, you kept him on profile, at least as far as I know. But you see this is definitely going to be a mark on his legacy. You know what I'm saying? And probably his family's legacy. He was doing that for his daughter's school. He wasn't doing that for like University of Tennessee or anybody, or University or Wisconsin or anybody. You know, so it's trash. But hopefully, I mean, I don't know if he's going to get cleaned up again. It's probably tarnished his name. But at the same time, one big point that I really want to get through to as well before we get to the next topic is how news outlets aren't really catching on to this stuff, you know? Like, when it comes down to our people, you know, if we even like sneeze wrong, you know what I'm saying? Like, even if we sneeze wrong, we on TV for like about 3-4 weeks, you know what I'm saying? But besides like what I've been doing my research on, I haven't heard much about this news, which is crazy. News outlets definitely got to do better about being right and just instead of about just being first. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't help to be first if you're not correct. You know what I'm saying? So, speaking of trash sports stars, what else we got here? All right, so you already know. When I talk about, a lot of times, especially when I was during season 2, we were talking about dick discipline. You know what I'm saying? Granted, we got on the ladies a lot, especially when it came down to like cheating and, you know, ladies out here, you know, moving foul, moving shady and everything like that. But we got to take some accountability too. And one of the biggest things right now is one of the biggest topics right now, actually, that's related to dick discipline is Adam Levine and Boston Celtics head coach Ime Udoka. All right. So we're going to start with, since we already was on the sports topics, let's run it up. Let's run up Ime Udoka. Real quick story. Ime Udoka, Nia Long, been together for a long period of time, had a kid kind of big now, forgot his age, but he's kind of big now, so it's been a minute. Apparently, what came out was that he was cheating on Nia with the staffers over on the Boston Celtics. You know what I'm saying? Which is kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, we people talk about, oh, you know, you're not cheating, exercise options, which is for the most part fact. But let's look at it like this though. It kind of you fuck up number one by cheating on Nia Long. God damn, bro. Everybody know like she's like the top 10 baddie. You know what I'm saying? In terms of like, you know, black culture and everything like that. She's basically top 10 baddie, you know? So you see that, you know, it's pretty crazy. But hey, Beyonce could get cheated on. If Janet Jackson get cheated on, yeah, Nia Long can get cheated on too. You know what I'm saying? It's not that far Let's be abundantly clear. It's not that far from the realm of possibility. You understand? So, having said that, sorry, I have to get some water. You already know me and my water. I get parched. Gotta get some water real quick. In the meantime, this episode is brought to you by Essentia season 3 premiere vibes real quick. That's what happens when you talk too much shit. Let's get it. It's season 3. We back out here again. Make sure you like and comment on this episode, man. We try to get to number 1. You know, we thank you for the support. But yeah, man, game's still the same. Like this, like and share this episode. Very important, very important. All right, let's get back into it. So, come to find out, he was cheating on her along with the staffers. You know what I'm saying? And it was just a few, like maybe like 1 or 2. Like, I heard it was like 1, but then numbers got up to 2, then it got up to 3. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of, it's a lot of different ladies. You know what I'm saying? So, granted, to be fair, want to put this out there right now. I'm not condoning any type of cheating in any way. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you married, especially, yeah, you might want to lock that shit up. You gotta retire and shit. You feel me? So yeah, don't condone it. Shit is trash. All right. What makes this Udoka situation a lot worse is the fact that you're pretty much shitting where you eat, bro. When you really think about it, look at it like this. Look at his career real quick. Let's take a look back at his career. Right? 21 years he played in the league. He was a journeyman. So basically he hopped from like team to team over the course of 21 years. After that, then he started to become assistant coach to other teams. I think he was assistant coach with the Spurs. Then I think he was assistant coach with the Nets before landing the Boston Celtics head coach job after Brad Stevens stepped out and became president of basketball operations. So basically, Udoka gets on the Boston Celtics, literally leads them to the finals, even though they lost to Golden State, which was no shocker. I mean, Steph was fucking beast last season. So basically, they get real close to getting to that chip, getting to Jason Tatum's first ring. And then next thing you know, you come out with this news, So when the news came out, when the news broke that Udoka was cheating on, was out here cheating and having relations with the staffers, which, against policy, he ended up getting, he got suspended for the year, he got suspended for the season. Now it's getting to the point where we don't know if he's even gonna, come back and coach. But see, this is the craziest thing. You worked so hard. You really worked so hard to get to this point where, you got your team and your team is about to get to the chip. You yourself, I believe, that never got to a chip, but you're about to get to your first one as a coach, leading a team. And then you out here fucking around with this. If we don't sneeze, our career ain't over. You don't know what the play is. That's the crazy part. And this happens a lot with dudes, you know what I'm saying, as a whole. We sit there, granted, we're at work. We're at work. We're there 8 hours a day, sometimes even 10, 12 hours a day. I know I had a few 10, 12-hour days myself. And we're around our coworkers and everything like that. So we're spending time, we're hanging out. You probably going to the after hours and after work shit, and you're spending a lot of time together. So yeah, attachments can be had. But bro, if you're trying to knock something down, at least quit your job first. Is it worth quitting your job for? That's what you got to think about it. If you're trying to sit there, first of all, I don't condone smashing work people. To be fair, I've done it. It wasn't the best situation, you know what I'm saying? Because it's even if you break up and y'all done, if y'all actually went seriously and then y'all broke up, you gotta now see that person every day. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you did them wrong. You gotta see that person every day. That shit is insane. You know what I'm saying? Especially if y'all if y'all work in like the same department, or y'all work in the same like vicinity in the office. That's tough. You know what I'm saying? It really is tough. So saying all that to say this, you potentially coming across some work box, you gotta ask yourself this: is it worth your job? You know what I'm saying? Is it worth your job? So, and if the answer is no, keep that shit PG. But if that box is yeah, then you better make that shit fucking count, because you're gonna have to find some new shit. You better make that shit count. You better be like, all right, you know what? Fuck it. If we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it. And then we're gonna be good after. You know what I'm saying? Because you might have to be on Indeed for a while. You know what I'm saying? But at least you won't be naming your baby after your side chick like this other dude we about to start talking about, Adam Levine. Like, you gotta be on some narcissistic type shit, bro. Let's get into this. So basically, this IG model comes out on TikTok talking about, she was dating this dude from a band who pretty much at this point makes elevator music, you know, skirting around it for a little bit. Next thing you know, she in another video, she's talking about, okay, it's from Maroon 5, that guy Adam Levine, we were dating and everything like that. But then I felt, you know, after a while, like dealing with him, I felt like I was not overpowered, but, you know, I felt intimidated and things like that, you know, like she didn't know like who he was, you know. Now, to be fair, you know, listen, everybody got Google, you know what I'm saying? Apparently she's from LA, and, you know, she's trying to like get her career started and everything like that, right? But you can't tell me in LA you ain't got a phone, and in your phone you ain't got Google. You know what I'm saying? And on Google, you pretty much can search anything in like 2.5 seconds. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't tell me that you couldn't just be like, oh, let me find out if this dude's married. Once he slid up in your DM, you find out, like, Adam Levine, you sure you ain't married? Yeah, hold on, let me go look on Google real quick. You mean to tell me you couldn't take that 2.6 seconds and be like, oh shit, dude's married, I can't fuck with this nigga. You know what I'm saying? No. Like, you sat there and was like, I bet, you know, let me see what I can get. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what I could build for myself and then go from there. Nothing wrong with that. Respect the hustle. Go get yours. You know, as a single person, that tends to happen, but I feel like more of the fault is on Adam because, bro, you got a whole family. And this is what it goes back to. Is the box worth the family? Because think about it. You see Adam Levine, right? He's with Maroon 5. I think he was doing like the voice for some time. And then he's doing like other things, right? So clearly he has to be worth at or around, let's say like 55, 65 million. You know what I'm saying? Let's say 55 million. And you sitting there, you risking not only your family, but potentially like damn near 25, 30 million. Because you already know if you're in Cali, you automatically got to give up half. And even if it's your fault, I covered that in season 1, the Bill Gates episode. Just take a look at that sometime. You know what I'm saying? So basically, you want to sit there and fuck the whole family up, the whole family vibe up over some box. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can understand, right? We really go hard. I had a moment. We really go hard on ladies when it comes down to stuff like this, and rightfully so, because you can't talk about you want something. You can't talk about you want something from a dude and then you move it in certain ways that may potentially disqualify you for that. So we rightfully talk about that. At the same time, you can't talk about, oh, we're gonna be out here smashing shorties, you're gonna be smashing IG models, which by the way is like the worst fucking investment ever. Because everybody's now in the business of exposing something for like content. You know what I'm saying? Like in this stage of the game right now, literally everything is content. Everything. Something as small as like a sunset in the clouds over a river. That's content, because you could definitely manipulate that in certain ways that could bring you some ad revenue. Or something as big as this, because apparently she told her friends, the lady in question told her friends about the situation, and then showed them the DMs or whatever like that, and apparently one of them just so happened to take those messages and take that evidence over to TMZ. And I'm like, wait a minute, like, what are we doing? Like, for all of that, you trying to entrust your friends and everything, you don't even really know. Like, honestly, if you got friends like that moving around you really ain't got no friends. Like, at least friends that you can really like rock with, because ain't no way, like, at least for my circle of trust, like, for the most part, if we have a secret, at least for my close circle, if we have a secret, we holding that secret down. You know what I'm saying? We're not trying to keep people around that's gonna sit there and spread secrets. You understand? So yeah, you gotta get you a group of friends. If you're gonna maneuver in that space, you gotta get you a group of friends that's gonna hold shit down and not go to TMZ. So TMZ can spread the whole, you know what I'm saying? This whole Goya section for profit, because everything's content at this point. But back to dude, like, you almost fucking up the family and your net worth over some IG box. Like, come on, bro. And then you got the nerve and the audacity and the mitigated gall to sit there and ask shorty if he can name the next kid that he's about to have with his wife after you. I think his name is Summer. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, I don't understand any of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, not to be fair, I do understand it. I do understand it, but it's just, come on, bro. Like, we got, as dudes, we definitely gotta do better. Like, we can't talk about, we can't keep talking. We could talk about ladies, but at the same time, we can't keep talking about ladies like, you know, in a way that we want them to be, and then we're still not doing our part to sit there and be the best dudes that we can be for the ladies that is out here trying to find somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got certain groups of people talking about these situations, and you can kind of see, right, you can kind of see who could pair up with who. And the same people that be talking about, oh, they want high value this, high value that, and the same people that talk about, oh, they want high value this, high value that, but then they can't get it. Like, both groups got to hook up with each other. Average people got to hook up with average people. Broke people got to hook up with broke people. You know what I'm saying? You can't be broke out here. You already know you can't be broke out here trying to hook up with rich people, because you ain't got nothing to offer like that. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like all the groups that's together need to just date within the circles, because I feel like in those circles is where you'll find happiness, because you're thinking in like-minded state. You're thinking in a like-minded state. You know what I'm saying? So bro, we got to do better. As dudes, we got to do better. And, you know, maybe we will, but in the era of content for cash is pretty tough. So we'll see. But, you know, we here to talk about it. People talking about it, so we talking about it. All right, so we're going to get into the main topic real quick. You already know we talking about PNB Rock. Now, a while back, it was maybe a week or two before we started recording, found out that PNB Rock was murdered at a Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, coming out there with a shorty. It's pretty unfortunate, because the way everything went down, with, you know, a lot of the speculation that happened, you know, between everybody blaming, you know, the girlfriend because, oh, she dropped the location. It was dropping food pics in the location there. Somebody might have saw the location and then pulled up, which by the way is a very this could happen. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say it's not going to happen or anything like that. But to be honest with you, like, who's really looking at like the stories like that to sit there and decide like, oh, you know, let's pull up on them real quick. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of I was looking at that. I was like, I don't think it's kind of premature to like blame her unless she really got something to do with it. Come to find out, it was somebody that was already in the restaurant when PNB showed up, and they must have had eyes on them. And then apparently it was a father and son duo where the son ended up being the shooter, and the father was ended up being like the getaway driver. They ended up getting caught up, I think, a week or two later after the incident, and now they're both, both are locked up, facing charges and everything. I want to say this real quick. There's two places I want to go with this real quick before we head on out of here tonight. Number one, we as a community, we gotta do so much better. You know what I'm saying? You think about it like this, right? Think about the situation as a whole. You got this father-son duo and a chicken and waffles enjoying a number 3 special real quick, and they see PNB Rock there. They pull up, they see them pull up, getting ready to enjoy a meal, him and his lady. It's crazy because, especially right now with the way, the West Coast is being, with a lot of the murders going on there, a lot of rappers are getting killed out there and everything, like Pop Smoke, he was murdered out in LA. There's a few other rappers that was murdered out in LA that I can't really, I don't know off the top of the head, but definitely was a lot going on. There's still a lot going on in Cali. You have the sheriff in Los Angeles talking about, hey, if you're thinking about coming out here, do yourself a favor and don't, because it's really crazy, and we can't really protect your safety. We can't really assure that you're going to be safe. You know what I'm saying? So it's a big deal right now. So you can understand the climate that you're in. And as a rapper already, you're already successful, you're already making a lot of money and everything like that. And, hey, listen, I'm not going to tell people to be flashy or not to be flashy. That's not even my cup of tea. But you got to understand the room that you're entering. You got to read the room. You pulling up to probably one of the most riskiest shows in chicken and waffles in Cali. You know what I'm saying? All these jewels on, looking like $1 million and everything. You like got $1 million on your wrist and on your neck. Go into Roscoe's, ask for a table, wait for a table, you get to the table, you ask for a menu, look at the menu, ask for a waitress. Waitress takes your order. Mind you, got all these chains on. You got all this attention on you. You wait for your food, get it, eat it, take pictures of it in different angles. Pay the bill, wait for the bill to come, pay the bill, do everything that you typically do in a restaurant while you got all these eyes on you. You know what I'm saying? You gotta understand, when the wolves out, the wolves out. You know what I'm saying? And we really gotta be more mindful as we're coming into success, as we're coming into, earning more money. I understand people want to come back to the neighborhoods that they came from, to give back, and try to be around the spaces that you grew up. You try to get that, hometown roots back every now and again when you're out there. But you gotta think about it like this too. When you're in that different space, you got eyes on you regardless, and unless you're riding with security, that's not always a good idea, So it's a really big thing to think about. So I'm just saying, like, we got to be more mindful of how we move. You know what I'm saying? Like, me personally, I'm not even that big of a guy, and I don't really post. But the thing is, with me, I don't really post my location, until like after I leave. You know what I'm saying? Like, and a lot of people think about, oh, you might not be as big, to be doing all that. I'm like, well, yeah, but you either safe or you sorry. And if you're not safe, you sorry. So for me, if I'm leaving Taj, I'm not posting about me at Taj until I'm leaving from Taj. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, They be like, "Oh, you was at times. I'm gonna pull up." I'm like, "All right, good luck." I'm like halfway home. What we doing? So, all right. Before I go, right, this is another part that I had to touch on when it came down to this whole situation is that father son dynamic. You know, like as a father, why would you let your son go out there and then just make those type of moves? Like, why would you even put him in that whole predicament? You know, there's a lot to unpack from that. So, oh, it's kind of crazy because it's like, you know, me growing like with like having my father and everything like that. You know, he would never like remotely put me in a situation where I could sit there and lose not only my freedom but his freedom as well. You know, and I know people are struggling out here. That to be fair, let's understand. Like people are really struggling out here trying to trying to pay rent and everything like that and support their families, and I get that. But at the same time, you should never like. I feel like you should never be in a position where you have to do all of that. You know, because now you got bigger problems. You in jail. Your son, you can't protect your son in there, so it's gonna be real rough for him on some nights where you gotta be in the shower when you already know what goes down. So you try to protect them in this situation, but you can't protect them ever again because you guys probably want to be in the same space. I would be glad because like he wasn't really doing much with them before, so like can't worry about that shit now. So like all told, like whether it comes down to the PNB Rock situation, even Udoka situation, and everything that we talked about tonight, one big thing that I gotta talk to, like one big message I gotta make for dudes out here is like we really gotta make better choices. You know what I'm saying? Life is a whole gamble, as you see in the title. Life is a whole gamble, and yeah, we make these choices or whatever. We feel like we in a space to make these decisions, but you also gotta understand that these consequences come with that every time. So that's something that we really gotta keep in mind of. So yeah, that's all I got. So you already know this is the season 3 premiere. This was the season 3 premiere of King Talk with Aaron Sands. You already know the vibes. You can follow me on IG. You already know Aaron Sands Premiere. That's AARONSANDSPREMIERE. We're gonna do this every Friday. Catch me next Friday with more entertainment news. We already got more King Talk gems. I think we might have a special guest, but check out my IG for more information. But if we don't, you already know we back here next Friday. You already know all new topics, all new guests, all different vibes. And you already know if it's Fridays, then it's King Talk. Take it easy, Aaron Sands. I'm out here. Hey, what up? It's your boy Aaron Sands, and I know you're enjoying this episode of King Talk right now. But I want to dive in a little bit and talk about the Premier Boys podcast. You got me, Aaron Sands, Ken the Gentleman, the homie Roddy Rod, and long live the Chief Mally Mal, all in the building, talking about the hottest entertainment topics, the hottest news topics, and giving our own take on what's going on out here in these streets. It can get raunchy. It could get crazy. You might even be talking about somebody's mama. Who knows? But every Wednesday at midnight, check us out on Apple, Good Pods. Don't forget to drop that 5-star rating and all wherever else you hear your podcast. Now back to the show, man. One more thing. I just want to give out prayers and deep condolences to everyone affected by Hurricane Ian. I know it hit Florida over the course of the weekend, and I think it touched down on the Carolinas. You know me, I got family down in the Carolinas. So I just want to give out prayers and shout out to those affected. You already know what it is. Try to support everyone out here that's really affected by these major storms. You already know it's hurricane season, so it's tough. So prayers out to them. Hopefully they hold on and rebuild and be stronger than ever. That's that.
What's up, world? This is the Chief Mally Mal, long live the Chief. And you're tuned in to King Talk with Mr. Aaron Sands. Don't go nowhere, baby.